All right, welcome back to Fuck Us Talks, a podcast, episode 71. Today on the show, this influencer is going to steal your girl, and people are bringing their babies to drag shows in this week's Cringe of the Week. Then, a street rat goes for a Tarzan jump, and a teacher beats up their student again in Urban Decay. And last but not least, we have some street confessions that will make you lose all hope for humanity. All this and more. It's Fuck Us Talks, the podcast, episode 71, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fuck Us Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Radboy.
All right, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Undertac. Guys, I will never waste your time with bad sponsors, and this week is no different. Undertac underwear is easily the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn. It's made from modal, which is basically cotton on steroids, 50% more moisture absorption, antimicrobial. It doesn't fade or shrink or stretch. This stuff is fantastic. It's my favorite underwear I've ever worn. No holes, no problems with the dryer. When you cook them in the dryer too long, it leaves holes in your underwear. That does not happen with Undertac. Undertac is super durable, and it costs about 30% less than the competition, probably 30% less than the underwear you're wearing right now. Undertac.com is the website. Use code FLECUS20 for 20% off site-wide, and they have a money-back satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it, they will give you a full refund. That's not going to happen because you're going to love this stuff. It's Undertac.com. Use code FLECUS20. And on top of all that, Undertac donates a percentage of their profits to veteran-run organizations that fight human trafficking. Full 360 win. Undertac.com. Use FLECUS20 as the code. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Undertac for sponsoring. Very comfy underwear.
Love Undertac.
Me too. All right, the things causing heart attacks and blood clots this week. I'm sure it's going to be a good one that makes a lot of sense. What is it? Having children in your early 20s?
Yeah, a warning to women who have children in their early 20s, you might be more at risk of a heart attack or stroke. Study claims.
So no need to have children. Maybe that'll be the reason for the decline in birth rate that's coming. It'll just be people who are scared to have heart attacks and blood clots. That's why no one's able to have kids anymore.
Yep. Well, they're going list by list, crossing off like, have we covered women yet? Have we covered everything men like? Have we covered teenagers? You know, it seems like they're segmenting the population and then giving everyone a reason for a heart attack, right?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, all the reasons will be covered except the real reason, and that's kind of what their MO is.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We have a really good doppelganger section this week. Richard Rapaway. Lookalikes.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm saying Richard Rapaway. It's Richard Ratboy. That is his name. His name is Richard Ratboy.
Yeah, I've seen comments that are like Rapaway. Like Rapaway said something funny, and it's like, where did you get that? So
yeah,
Richard Ratboy. Richard
Ratboy. Follow him on Instagram too. He's got like 100 and something thousand followers. You guys should know this by now. We have some doppelgangers for you. It looks like you dropped your ring during an engagement.
Yeah, tough break.
There's you getting married.
Great.
Got it, but you dropped the ring. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Here's another one of some other guy. That's you as well. Yep. There's you eating. What are you scarfing there?
I'm moonlighting as a tech reviewer on YouTube under the pseudonym Gardner Bryant. See for yourself. Yeah, that's me. I'm scarfing on. That looks like General So's.
Yeah.
My usual Sunday night.
And then last but not least, this isn't really a doppelganger. I just filmed you on a ride. You were having a tough time on the ride. There you are. You got your gut out. That's how you know it's you.
Yeah, that's how you know it's me.
You ruined the whole ride.
Thank you.
The centrifugal force couldn't happen because the weight was so offset.
Why do people even go on these rides?
I don't know.
It's like not fun. Everyone's struggling.
It just makes you dizzy.
Yeah.
And then what? And that's probably good when you eat like 2 pounds of cotton candy and a bunch of soda.
Yeah.
And you get spun around.
Yep.
All right. I'm assuming you have some sort of rebuttal?
Yes, I do. In fact, let's go through your week because you've had a busy week since the podcast last released. So first, you were quietly freed from Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, 9/11 terrorists.
So you got your freedom. Then you came home quickly, said hello to Jerry, said hi.
There's me.
Yep, after not seeing Jerry for quite a while, big hug. Then you started to get serious. You're like, all right, I got to find work. I got to get back on track. You started bricklaying. You started doing bricklayer's work.
Hey, that's honest work.
Yep. But then it got a little too hard for you, so you decided time to go trans.
That explains my tits.
Yep. Decided to go trans, but that didn't work out, so you quickly reverted to a new career path, rapper.
Yeah, that works.
Rapper, and who's
Words
this?
can't describe me. I'm Beyonce. I got some lines.
All right, so but the rap career quickly kind of dwindled. You were a one-hit wonder, so you started getting into something serious, a video that edits itself. So you're on the
That's
promotion
like a tech
now.
side of things.
Yeah, so you're moving up.
I've entered into the tech space.
You did. You could call it that. Then, so that was like tech/modeling work. So you kept getting more calls for modeling work. 5 reasons men should not be afraid to date woke women. I'm surprised you said yes to that, but I'm assuming the pay was pretty good.
The pay was good, and I didn't even know what the stuff was for. I actually signed an NDA, and they don't even tell you. So I just took these stock photos, and I guess they used them for that.
Okay. And then while you were feeling photogenic, you decided to model for this calendar, Mr. February, Cupid.
Is that actually me?
This one is the closest one we've ever gotten.
Okay, that's not me. The giveaway is the gut is like bigger than my gut. It doesn't look like that. That guy's like 360. I'm 60 pounds less than that. But that is interesting. That looks exactly like me.
Yeah. And then modeling work dried up, and eventually your ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend challenged you to a fight, and you had to do a boxing match.
I remember that.
So here's
There's
you
all
coming
my
into the ring.
tattoos.
Yep.
See, there's the proof. The gut's smaller. See? And then I lost the boxing match.
Yep, to your wife's boyfriend, Dontarius.
You know, this has gone a little too far. Yeah. I don't come to your workplace and heckle you.
You kind of do.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's enough. We had a busy week. Doppelgangers are active. The other iterations of Fleckus are out there in the universe. Same with Rat Boy. So if you guys see him, keep sending him to us. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
And I'm mostly one race. You know, I'm like the white guy with like a little reddish blonde. You are everybody. You're Samoan. You're like you're Tongan. You're Middle Eastern. You're whatever you want to be. So
it's called Built Different.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good doppelganger section. Good heart attack section. We have a lot of housekeeping to get to. It's a very important housekeeping. One of the better ones we've put together. Really quick, number 3, today's delusion. Guys, I came across this bus for sale on Facebook Marketplace here in New Orleans. It's a gigantic city bus that is for sale for $10,000. So if you're a Fleckus fan and you watch the show and you got over $500K liquid cash, right? Like a rich guy. If you're a rich guy watching the show and you're like, hey, if I buy that bus for Fleckus, you could probably write it off in some sort of tax way. We will take that bus and we will turn it into a mobile podcast studio. And then we will drive around the country and we will interview people and create a second show. So if you like this idea and you want to kind of jumpstart that and you have some extra 10K lying around, don't super chat it because YouTube will take a third. Contact me directly or Richard Rapway directly. We'll exchange the transfer of funds, it's called. It's called transfer of funds via PayPal or Venmo. And yeah, so if you guys like that idea and want to jumpstart the next show, 10K gets us the bus. I can handle the rest. Beep, beep. Fleckus got his CDL license driving around like this.
Yeah, you would have to get a license, I think.
But this is what it looks like.
And we'd be in the right lane on the highway. Yeah, it's this. It's not up here. It's this. So
I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious experience.
I'm built like a bus driver too.
Yeah,
I can handle that bus.
Yeah, you kind of are.
55 on the highway. We can go 65.
Risk it.
Risk it is right. All right. So if that's what you guys want to do, send me 10K. And that's what we will do with the 10K.
Yep.
All right, moving on. We have a very important housekeeping. We're still in the middle of it. Something I realized the other day. We were talking the other day about on the show how it's okay to do a 180 if you're walking down the street and you have to change direction. It's better to just change direction and go the right way as opposed to worrying about what people think about you and then make 2 rights to get back on track, right?
Yep.
That makes sense. Look what this guy in the restaurant did. This is a person wearing a tuxedo in a restaurant. And look what they do, and look what happens. Do you guys see that? This person yells at the top of their lungs. Everyone looks over, And then in about 3 seconds, everyone goes back to normal and no one cares.
Yeah. What's the next move? Come yell at him? I don't know. There's no...
But you'd think that would be so embarrassing. Oh, that would ruin my night. That guy yells. People go, what was that? Oh, just some guy yelling. All right, so yeah, it worked today. And they go completely back to how they were. And that's like a lesson to be learned. It's like people aren't that judgy, and who cares if they are? I actually learned this lesson in college. We talked about this on Bonus Land a few weeks ago. And if I'm repeating the story, you know, kind of what I'm starting to do with my age. But basically in college, I was walking into food court all the time, zonked to the gills, whatever that means. And I would walk into food court and I'd think to myself, oh man, everyone's staring at me. Everyone's looking at me. Are they all looking at me? Do I look weird? Do we look weird? Do we look normal? We're normal, right? And then one time during the day, I walked into food court in the morning and I just did a cartwheel. And everyone kind of looked over, saw the cartwheel, and was like, whatever, back to normal. And then me doing the cartwheel made me realize that when I go into food court later, when I'm zonked to the gills, whatever that means, that it wasn't actually that serious. No one's actually looking. Everyone's an NPC. No one actually cares. I did a cartwheel that time, and no one even really changed their day about it. So the message of the day is not everyone is judging you as much as you think, and even if they are, they're all NPC morons anyway. So
That's one way to go about society.
So, like, who are you worried about being judged? Some stupid idiot who's a moron?
Yeah, that's true. And a man of your size doing a cartwheel is actually a scene. So
yeah,
that's shocking to me.
Exactly. No one cares. Do whatever you want. All right. Speaking of doing whatever you want, street vendors in New York are back to grilling rats and guinea pigs again, it looks like. It's obviously disgusting, but also there's an opportunity here. If you guys are in the New York area and you go to one of these places and you buy some guinea pig or rat meat, street meat, and you eat it on camera while plugging the podcast, I'll give you whatever you want.
Blank check.
Blank check. Whatever I have that you want, you can have. All the money I have, you can have. All the merch, all the toys, literally whatever you want. If you go to New York, go to one of these sketchy street meat vendors, buy some guinea pig, hold it up and say, I got some guinea pig. There's the guinea pig. Fleckus Talks the podcast, best new podcast of all time. Take a bite. Pink slips.
Yeah. You can have the bus.
You can have the bus. You can have the bus. We'll immediately trade the bus for that. So there's an opportunity there. If you guys can do it, please make it happen. We have to keep moving. We have a very important housekeeping. Next, Malcolm in the Middle race car driver. You know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, that guy, what's his name? Frankie Muniz?
Yeah, Frankie Muniz.
He's a race car driver.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think he also said like he doesn't remember anything from Malcolm in the Middle. So he's like a amnesia race car driver as well.
It's called Living Second Life.
Yeah. Second
Good for him.
Yeah, good
Talented
for him.
guy. Can do many things.
I loved Malcolm in the Middle. That was one of my favorite shows. So
yeah, me too. All right, next. This is just a piece of advice. Guys, Fleckus fans, Fleckus watchers, podcast listeners, no drum swings. Look at this video. This guy tries to do a cool drum swing. And he just knocks somebody out and kills them. Yeah. So no drum swings on the show.
Can I add something?
Of course.
No guitar swings either.
Duh.
And those are sharper than a drum.
That goes for guitar swings as well. I would rather get hit with a drum than a guitar.
That's true.
So
the guitar would hit you in your teeth and like shatter them.
And like cut you. The drum at least is like it's a thud, you know? It's
you get hit by a lineman instead of like a punch.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That makes sense. Over the weekend, Richard Rappaway and I went for a nice mini bike ride. Really good ride. One of our best rides. Two things I took away from that trip. Number one, I went to the gas station, and whenever we fill up the mini bikes, the people at the gas station think we're crackheads because we're buying like $2 of gas. Yeah. So I went to the gas station.
They each hold a gallon, and we top off. Like we're topping off like when we have half a gallon. So
yeah. So it's like we're buying like a couple dollars worth of gas. People think we're crackheads. So I go into the gas station, and I was like, here's a $5. I'm like, $3 of gas, 1 Powerball. It's like the guy wasn't actually that surprised because I'm sure there's a lot of street rattery happening in New Orleans. But the idea of prioritizing your life where it's like I could do $3 of gas and one $2 Powerball.
Yeah, you have $5 to your name.
It's so bad. And then also we've been seeing a lot of sightseeing buses. Speaking of buses, And it's always very important when you see a sightseeing bus to always wave at the sightseeing bus. That's what we do. They like that. It's fun for them. We're the sights.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason they're out there.
Absolutely.
So help your city out. Whenever you see a sightseeing bus, give them a wave. Makes them feel good.
Yep.
All right. Black History Month is finally over. You happy about that?
Woo! Shortest month of the year, baby. So, I mean, I don't care. I mean, the thing is, Black History Month, like, they're always showing you just a black person or a something. Like, they never teach you about Black history. You know what I mean? I guess maybe students in school learn about, Harriet Tubman or different sort of people, but like, I don't know. I go through Black History Month every year as an adult, and I never learn a new piece of Black history.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? But like,
yeah, that makes sense. And I'm kind of the same way. We tried to fix that this year by paying more attention to rap culture news. We follow No Jumper on Instagram, and we've been seeing a lot of rap culture headlines that are really, what's the word for it? Confusing?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on in these headlines.
Well, this has become like kind of a passion of ours, like something it's like a joke that we want the audience to get in on, and it's kind of like this way where it's a news organization reporting on like rap events. And the rap events, it's like it's not really worthy of being news, but the way they present it, it's like news, fact, like Donald Trump requests National Guard at Washington, D.C. Like they do that, but for rap events.
Like so random, and the names are so weird. Can we do two examples of fake, or two or three examples of like the headlines that are real that we just didn't know?
Yeah. Here's one from No Jumper. Moneybag Yo gifts Glorilla a bread gang chain at live show. I
don't know any of those.
Some nouns in there.
I know
I guess
live
a verb.
show. I know live show.
Yeah. And then usually the subjects are pictured. It's kind of like a split thing, and they kind of do it like as a news release. And usually there's like some sort of video or some second slide. But we're just obsessed with deciphering these first ones, right?
Yeah. Next.
Here's another one.
This is a real one as well.
This is kind of what got us into it in the first place.
Yeah.
We tried to read this, and then we looked at these creatures, and we're like, what is happening? So this one says, spot 'em, got 'em, and Pooh Shiesty linked up. Need it or keep it? And then there's this alien creature, and then I guess one of them spot 'em, got 'em, one of them's Pooh Shiesty. So.
And then I vote keep it.
Yeah.
What's need it though?
Need it or keep it? That seems like the same thing.
I don't know. I need it, and I think we should keep it.
Yeah.
All right, next one. These are all real. We're going to do after this, we're going to do real versus fake and see if you guys can guess which one's which.
All right, here's my favorite one. Meek Mill gets the ball stolen from Dixie D'Amelio, then gets his ankles broken by an 8-year-old.
So that was real, and that really happened. There's a video.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know who many of these characters are. I know Meek Mill.
Yeah, I know Meek Mill. I know Dixie D'Amelio. Okay, so that being said, we are going to go through some headlines, and we're going to present headline A and headline B. One of them is real, one of them is fake. We're going to guess. All right, first one.
All right.
Real or fake?
FBG Wooski gets emotional and lost for words when asked about FBG Duck. Real or fake? Or actually, I'm going to show you two, and then you have to pick the real or fake.
Yeah. Okay, so FGB Wooski gets emotional when talking about FGB Duck.
Yep. Okay. Snarf O'Banion just signed a major deal with 3L Records. All right. So that versus FBG Wooski, which one's real?
FGB Wooski, FGB Duck.
Yep, correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you make up Snarf O'Banion?
Yeah, I did.
That sounds like a rap boy makeup thing.
I know. Snarf, I couldn't resist. Okay, all right.
O'Banion, like an Irish name? That's good.
All right, okay.
All right.
So, all right, next set of two. You got to tell me which one's real. 40 Pants linked up with Whoa Vicky. Did it go down?
Well, I know 40 Pants is real. I know Whoa Vicky is real as well. Yep. And then what's the next one?
NDOD moves white folks to the back of the bus on Rosa Parks video.
NDOD moves white folks to... NDOD moves white folks to the back of the bus
on Rosa Parks video.
I think that's real.
Yep.
But 40 Pants is a real person, and so is Will Vicky.
Yep.
But they just didn't link up, I guess.
I don't think 40 Pants is a rapper. I think he just went viral for wearing 40 pants.
Oh, that's why, what that was.
That's why the image is so blurry.
Yeah,
so.
40 Pants is from like an Urban Decay. The guy was just wearing all the pants.
Uh-huh.
They call him 40 Pants.
Okay.
Oh, man, that was pretty good.
All right, last one.
Okay.
FBG Mackerel vows to clean up plastic waste from the local beaches. Is he capping? And there's him. He's got the money on the balcony. He lives near the beach. And then here's the other one. Fans are saying G Herbo types like an evil villain.
I think that's the fake one.
This one?
Yeah.
Evil villain guy? Wrong.
Really?
Yeah, FBG Mackerel is made up. If you notice, mackerel is just a fish. Vows to clean up plastic waste from the ocean. That was your giveaway.
And then also, is he capping? They wouldn't even say that because, of course, that's good. They wouldn't say, is this bad? Does capping mean bad?
Capping means lying. Is he capping? Is he lying about cleaning up the oceans? So FBG Mackerel, I used FBG from the earlier FBG Wooski.
Yeah.
And FBG Duck. FBG Duck and Mackerel, that would kind of make sense.
It lined up, and I thought this one, fans are saying G Herbo types like an evil villain. I didn't think anyone would actually write that, but they wrote that as a headline.
Yep.
Wow. All right, last one. This last one?
Yeah, this is the last group of two, okay?
Okay.
All right, so tell me which one's real. Mar-a-Lago got his chain snatched by AG Barr. Was this a violation of the Patriot Act?
Okay, that one's fake for sure. AG Barr is just Attorney General Barr. And Mar-a-Lago, AG Barr is
I know. I wish Mar-a-Lago was separated more. My bad.
Barr.
I needed to do better on that. All right.
Oh,
All right,
man.
next one. Boutros Ghali says YG Slavia is, quote, committing war crimes.
Okay, so they're both fake. Boutros Ghali, and then YG Slavia's Yugoslavia.
Boutros Ghali was the leader of the UN from like 1992 to 1996 or something when Yugoslavia collapsed. So yeah, sorry, you
Committing war crimes.
Yeah, you caught it.
Well, I got both of them right, so that cancels out the one I got wrong. Perfect score.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know why we really did this. We were having fun with this, but like, if you guys follow No Jumper, like, it's literally Mad Libs, and it all sounds so made up that it's crazy to me that this is like the real news reporting that they do. So
yeah, it's so fun to see them because I don't have any idea what they're talking about, and I don't even have any idea what the sentences are saying sometimes.
yeah, because sometimes the verbs are a rap verb that we don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know. You didn't know what capping was.
Yeah, I'm bad at capping.
So, yeah, crazy. But yeah, my favorite was Snarf O'Banion. I thought that was a great name.
FGB Mackerel. It's like I didn't make the connection that mackerel's just a fish, but
I know.
FGB Duck is just a duck.
I know.
FGB Duck.
Yeah. So, guys, send us, if you see them, send us more insane ones because,
They're fun.
yeah, we're dying at this.
We
yeah.
love this shit.
Yeah.
And before we move on, play this next clip. This is from New York City. This guy's been terrorizing people on the subways.
Get the jeans.
Yeah.
My race, the highest race in the world. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul George, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Ellen, what do you got in your race? Name one person in your race.
Emeril Lagasse.
Duh.
Dave Coulier. Should I go on?
No, that's enough. I love how he names just like 7 NBA players, and it's like, that's all I look up to.
Yeah.
NBA players.
Okay, we got Emeril Lagasse. We got Dave Coulier. That's it. It's done.
Yeah, that's the dream team right there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. You know those machines that grind stuff up no matter what?
I do.
You put like a truck in it, you put a refrigerator, you put metal, and it just grinds it up. How do they do that?
Hard metal and strong engine.
And it just doesn't stop for anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Those do get clogged. They do get clogged.
There's one here playing in the background. It's just eating a whole truck.
Yeah,
And
whole
it doesn't
trailer.
even slow down. It just goes until the truck is done.
Yep.
So I was thinking, if you get your leg stuck in that or your foot stuck in that, you're toast.
Yeah, just salute.
You basically have to let it go down to the knee, and once you're at the knee, you got to twist yourself off, and it's horrible. It's like very vulgar and like graphic. But you have basically, if your foot's in, it's gonna eat it all the way up your shin. Once you get to the knee, you have like 5 seconds to just start spinning your own knee off your leg.
This is very practical advice. Take
Yeah.
notes, guys, please.
I know it's not pretty, but that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have a couple more things. Last thing, I guess, of housekeeping before I remind everyone to like this episode, turn on notifications. People have been complaining that notifications aren't coming through, so make sure you turn them on so you don't get them either. Leave us a comment, help the algorithm. Let's get this thing juiced. Carbon is diamond, right?
Yeah, yes, compressed, ultra compressed,
And
the
carbon-
densest form of carbon.
And carbon is coal.
Yeah,
So you take coal, you squeeze it, turns in diamond?
pretty much. That's what happens under the Earth's core that creates diamonds, a process over thousands of years.
I don't think so.
You don't buy it?
Take coal, squish it all the way in one of those machines that doesn't stop no matter what, and it goes clear.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
So if someone wants to explain that to me in the comments, I will happily read it. I'd like to know, because the way I'm being told it now, you squeeze soot coal, you squeeze it down, becomes clear. That doesn't ring true to me.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to some real housekeeping topics? Lori Lightfoot's dead,
Yeah, Lori Lightfoot's done.
politically speaking.
Politically speaking, she's done. Congratulations, Chicago. I don't even know who they're going to replace her with.
Yeah, it seems like a guy who's a little more friendly to the cops, Paul Vallis, but he's a Democrat. But there's still a runoff that's going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I love it. I love when one of my political enemies goes dead. You know, like Stacey Abrams. They basically can't run her again. Beto O'Rourke. Waste of time, waste of money, like the amount of money they pumped into those people. Lori Lightfoot, I love it. People are like, oh, dude, she'll be appointed to the Biden administration like that. Like, oh, dude, she'll be on CNN. CNN, maybe. But she's an ugly, disgusting, no morals, no heart creature, right? And nobody likes a loser. Even Democrats, when they're protecting their own, like she just lost in a humiliating way, got third place in the election, forcing a runoff between two other people who aren't her as the incumbent. Like, that's a humiliating loss. So I don't expect to see her anywhere. I expect her to live in a little Chicago bungalow in Hyde Park and just wither away with her white lesbian lover.
Yeah.
So
That's a good life for her. That's what she should have done 10 years ago.
that's what I like. Why? Who cares? I guess she liked power and she liked doing little TikTok bits and wearing outfits. But
Yeah.
she loved watching Urban Decay. Like that is a steward of Urban Decay. Her as mayor. Same with Latoya Cantrell in New Orleans. Same with, Gavin Newsom is an overseer of Urban Decay.
And every time you correct them, it's racist. You're racist and you hate ladies.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
The big titty woodshop teacher.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Okay, cool.
Big titty woodshop teacher was on leave.
Paid leave right now.
Paid leave right now. And then, so the picture that was a doppelganger of you last week, the big titty woodshop teacher without the breasts on.
Yeah, he was photographed outside of work without his tits, without the prosthetics.
And then they confronted this person.
Yep.
And then what did he say?
Well, so he called into the New York Post after that reporting happened, was like, okay, I got to do an interview, right? And he said, that wasn't me, which is a great, deny, double down. I love that scenario.
Deny, counter-accuse.
Counter-accuse, double down.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things you can do, but I love the outright denial. He denied that was him. He said he was intersex, so he's not like transgender or anything, and was undergoing hormone replacement therapy in 2021 and was in transition. And then the teacher said that his extra large breasts are caused by a condition called gigantomastia, but also admitted that he's never been officially diagnosed.
So he's saying the tits are real?
So he's saying the tits are real. It's a medical condition. And but not formal. It's just in my head.
Wow.
So
what a double down. I respect it.
Yeah, crazy double down. And I go back and forth between, is he playing us? Is he playing the game? Or is this a mentally ill person with access to kids? Either way, we kind of win, is what I say every time, because it's either this is how easy it is to be mentally ill around kids, or this is how easy it is to play the system, much like the male prisoners who say, oh, I'm transgender, and they go to a women prison. The game is the game. It's so easy, and women, your guys' weakness is allowing men to just dominate you. So it's sad, but it's an interesting update for the big titty woodshop teacher. So
100%. Very interesting. Moving on into Cringe of the Week. All right, Cringe of the Week. Our first clip of Cringe of the Week. Guy pulls jewel out of toilet.
now stop.
Oh no.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh my God.
Doesn't even shake it out. You think you'd go like this, right? Or you'd rinse it, and you'd like rinse it and then get like water in and out of it. He just went straight to pulling it, and he got piss in his mouth.
Those are kids in a high school. and he's willing to, he wants a hit of a nicotine pen so bad that he's willing to take it out of piss. It's like, what happened? Have you been smoking this since you were 14?
I bet if you went to a high school and said, who here has like a Juul or e-cig, I think the whole class raises their hand.
Crazy, man.
They got our kids hooked.
Yeah.
Another thing they have our kids hooked on, this filter girl.
Yeah.
Another thing that's hooking the kids.
I can't believe this is a filter. The fact that this is what filters have evolved into is actually crazy to me. I grew up with the dog filter on Snapchat, and now this filter gave me lip fillers. This is what I look like in real life.
So
are you
the
kidding
filter
me?
gives you like automatic like wedding makeup.
Yeah, like the best makeup you've ever had, full lips, eyelashes like you couldn't possibly have naturally.
At least it's not AI though. That could have been AI.
I think that is AI. I think that counts.
Oh, it does, yeah.
That kind of counts as like your avatar now.
And like TikTok does this automatically, I think. So it's like for a lot of these people, for especially young people.
Not automatically. Like you have to choose it, right?
Oh, does it? I thought they did it automatically.
No, they don't. You don't open TikTok and you're in full makeup. No.
Oh, I don't go on TikTok that much. But it's very easy to do this, and people start doing this, and then you can't like undo it. And then it makes your online presence like what you care about more than as opposed to your in person. And then you keep doing the filters, then you put them on your like dating app pictures, and then like the more you do it and pretend to look like this person, the further you get from like being happy with yourself. So you keep doing these photos, keep uploading these photos, content with this filter on, and then your real life and your fake life, it's like the fake life goes up and your real life priorities go down because you're creating this fake world you live in that's actually not you.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I also think it's like supply met demand here, right? Like these wouldn't be the filters if nobody wanted to do this, right? For the women. And so it's like there's like a certain percentage, like probably 10, 20, 15% of women who love this filter and use it. And then it's like, well, if I don't look like that, like how am I supposed to compete with this influencer, you know? So it's like a race to the bottom bad
Once
thing.
everyone starts doing it and you don't do it, it's like not taking steroids when Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire are taking steroids. Like I have to take steroids too.
Absolutely. And it's obviously going to create some self-worth issues with the young ladies, and it's not good.
Very not good.
So China app does it again. And those are on Instagram too. Like if you see in a girl's story, like makeup by blah, blah, like you can see the filter, like everybody does it. And it's really weird.
It's not good. All right. Next, this influencer is going to tell us why he's going to steal our girl.
Yeah. I love this guy.
Me too.
Let's take you, for example, and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that battle. So the next time you think that your girl's on lock, I got the keys to the castle, motherfucker.
You see his leg? His little leg?
His leg coming
leg's
out of the
like
car.
A wrist. He's like a wrist leg. And well, the doors go up, so he's got us beat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The doors go up.
The doors go up. It's
a
over.
rented McLaren. I like this. I like this guy hitting his line at the end. I got the keys to the castle, motherfucker. And he goes, ha ha. And he's like laughing at the fact that he even said that.
Just a little rat laugh.
It's like, this is not you, bro. Like, please do not do this.
Hey, the doors go up. You got me beat. Take my money. Take my wallet. Here's my credit card. Here's a watch my granddad gave me. Here's the keys to my car. Whatever you want. I got nothing. You got me. The
Just
doors
don't take
go
the
up.
girl.
Just don't take the girl, bro. I know you got it unlocked.
Yeah.
Keys to the castle.
Oh, man.
That's pretty good.
Well, and those are my favorite. I've said this for multiple categories of people, right? The OnlyFans girls who never get any followers. It's like you humiliated yourself for nothing. Like this kid better hope he stays going viral and like becomes a joke. Because if you did this and then you don't like use it for anything, you humiliated yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, next we have some confessions. We talked about this in the intro. This is kind of like a vulgar section. So if you're sensitive to vulgar language, maybe skip ahead 2 minutes. But we have 2 confessions from college girls. Let's let the first one rip.
The craziest confession.
I cheated on my boyfriend with a guy he told me that I told him not to worry about. This guy's 20 minutes after I his best friend.
Okay.
Where's your dad? Where's your mom?
Oh my. Everyone's sucking everybody.
You're telling that to like a camera and a microphone?
In a time where everything goes viral on street videos. And like that would be like bad rumors that you hear about someone when we went to high school. Like,
yeah.
I heard her and 5 guys or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you just told everyone that. No shame at all, huh?
Yeah, crazy.
That's bad.
All right.
Next one, the P one.
This summer, I met up with like a sugar daddy, So his plan was to pay me $10K for peeing on his face. And I peed on his face, I got the $10K, and then I came home and I blocked him, haven't talked to him since. 2 months later, I walk into class, first day of school, first class, he's my professor.
Wait.
So that's what you're paying for when you send your kid to college. Professors to pee on your daughter.
Yeah. And this is kind of a point. Like, obviously, this slut shit is crazy. Like, no, people need to have shame. Like, I don't know what. The funniest thing is like somebody being like, yeah, so I sucked that guy's dick, and then 20 minutes later, I sucked another guy's dick, and it's like, the interviewer goes, whoa, that's crazy. All right, thank you for the content, and then like everybody walks away, and then it's like she's left alone, being like, the smile slowly fades on her face, and she's like, what the fuck did I just say to 100,000 people?
Yeah.
And then she goes to class, and then she's like wondering, and like two guys are over here like, she's not doing two guys' dicks. Like they point. It's like, why do you do this to yourself?
Back to Arizona State.
Yeah. But so this is kind of a conversation that we've been having off camera where college more and more these days is becoming something that like, I don't want to say the word cucks you, but it's like, it's kind of like a perverse thing where not just sexually speaking, but like say you're a blue collar dad, right? You sacrifice, you make all these sacrifices for your family, you save money, you don't want your kids to go into debt, you want them to go to college, you want a better life, right? That's kind of like the old gold. That's the old way it worked, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like someone would immigrate, they'd work shitty jobs, next generation gets a leg up, and then the generation after that goes to college and does everything you dream of, right?
Yep.
And so these days, it feels like just the way that it's changed and how it's changed in the last 15 and 20 years, right? Prices have gone way up for colleges. They're insane. And they're leftist indoctrination factories, right? Like everybody comes in, and Fleckus and myself went to a liberal arts college. We went to, a school that churned out a lot of leftists, right? We were fine, but, we're talking numbers game as a whole, right? Like what percent gets into like stupid causes, who becomes Greta Thunberg, that sort of thing.
Who starts a racist podcast?
Exactly. And so, but like, if you think about the act, like this blue collar dad, right? He's in a suburb of Akron, Ohio, right? And it's 30 minutes from Akron, but it's got a main town square and it's got this. So this guy works very hard in his smaller town, his neighborhood. He's got a good business. He works hard. And then he dumps all his money. He saves up like, in the extreme cases, 30, 40, 50 grand a year to send your kid to one of these colleges. So you suck up all the local money. You send it to some faraway place like Penn Station or, like a college town that only exists to be a college town, right?
Yep.
So you send it there. Your daughter becomes a slut.
She's gone.
And this is not for everybody, obviously. She becomes a slut, likely becomes a leftist, starts to resent where they came from, becomes like a cosmopolitan version of themselves through all these, weird liberal arts classes that kind of suck and don't teach you how to do math or anything. You're not an engineering role. And so it's like the money gets sucked out of a small town to go to a leftist, pseudo-leftist, for the most part, like 90% of college professors donate to Democrats, all that. So you suck your money out of the small town, all this hard work you did, to give it to a leftist town that already has like a crazy endowment that's way overpriced just for your daughter or son to get churned into some like groupthink corporate drone.
So they take all your money, they take your kid and ruin them when they're out of your jurisdiction and authority. And then they take the money from your small town that you would have maybe used in your small town and then use it in their small town, which is just like a leftist Muppet factory.
Exactly. And so it's like one of those things where you're going to pay 150 grand for your child's college education. Like you could probably do 2 down payments on 2 rental properties, give them
passive income for the rest of their life.
Teach them a trade, give them passive income for the rest of their life. They still have to work. It's not like a free thing. But like, then your town gets better, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like maybe I start a business in this hometown at 30 minutes outside of Akron, Ohio. And like, let's revive Main Street, And so like the same thing that happened with the Rust Belt and like, the hollowing out of factories and internationalization of manufacturing is somewhat happening on a smaller scale. To universities,
the same exact ruining of what we had in a smaller scale domestically.
Yeah, and so I don't know.
That's a good point, Richard.
It's just something I've been thinking about. Like, obviously, kids still want to go to college. I think kids, it's hard to just start working when you're 18. Like, I know obviously some of the audience has that. I think there should be like you go on a trip, you learn something, you do something. but it's gotten so out of whack with the prices and the leftism that like you're basically
it's a trap.
It's a trap, and you're cucking your
and
small
you lose
town.
all your
right?
money. Your small town gets worse. You lose all your money. Your small town gets worse, and your kids resent you and aren't what you raised them to be.
And then your kid graduates, and she goes, "I want to go to Chicago. I want to live in the big city. I want to live in New York. You know, wherever they can." And then they go live in a pod.
There's someone there in New York who's going to pee on them too.
Exactly. So your daughter will be confessing about all of her slut activities while you slave away to cut the check to the college that's turning your daughter into a slut and a leftist. And yeah.
That's dark.
It's pretty dark shit.
That's very dark.
And that's not on every case, but...
It's not in every case, but it is what happens every time, basically. Wow. That's a great point.
Yeah.
We're losing the fibers, the fibers that connect this country, the fabric of our society.
And everyone wants to leave their small hometown. Everybody wants to get out. Nobody wants to kind of like improve it. You know what I mean?
Go get hoed out.
Yeah.
Pissed on.
Oh, get blacked out and pissed on for 10K.
Get blacked out, suck everybody. It's not good.
Yeah.
All right, next clip. Guy charging his phone in his pocket.
So while I'm looking for the charger, right? Why is it in his pocket with his phone? Like, why do you have your phone in your pocket on the charger? My life.
All right. I will clear this up. This looks bad. It looks like he's charging his phone in his pocket because he doesn't want his wife to go through his phone.
Yeah.
Guys actually do that. That's not a cheating thing. Guys a lot of times have dreams where you need your phone. And if your phone is on your bedside table, you don't have it in your dream. So a lot of times guys will put their phones in their pocket, charge it in their pocket overnight. So when they get to dream world, they have their phone.
Yeah. This is not suspicious at all. This is normal. Like if you see your man doing this, like just give him the pass. All right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right. Next, we have some clips of babies at drag shows. We have like a compilation. There's a lot of babies at drag shows this week for some reason, which is worse than children because they're babies.
Yeah. So here's what do you call this?
Twink swinging in a gimp suit.
Yep, twink swinging in a gimp suit, and then here's one even less in a leopard thong.
He's got his ass just out.
Got his ass out. There's babies.
There's
this is
babies here. The twink swinging in the gimp suit actually was like decent production. He's hanging from the ceiling. It's a little bit of a show at least. There's a literal baby there. And obviously the performers in all these cases, another situation with the baby giving money, the performers in all these situations are obviously getting off a little bit sexually. But I think even worse is it's just the normalization of the behavior. So these guys are getting off and they like it, but what's actually worse is they're just pretending this is normal behavior and they're trying to normalize it at a very, very young age. What was that last one? That should have been in Doppelgangers. Is that you?
Yeah, that should have been yours. The end of the week for you.
That's you.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
You're built just like that. And so here's the thing, right? Like we don't want to keep coming back to drag bad, you know, like the bits it's overdone. But why are people bringing literal babies to this?
They're sacrificing.
They don't even understand anything. They can't even see. Like a baby, when you go like this, like the baby forgets that this exists. So like, what are you doing with the baby there? Like, I don't get it. And then the kids are getting younger and the drag queens are getting bigger.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. Look at this fat one coming up to get her $1.
That's not even good content.
That's a fat guy, Mr. Peabody. Look at him, demon face. And then look at this one. You're built like Vince Wilfork. You're
Johnson.
a nose tackle.
Oh, man.
Like,
your nose tackle is right.
I'm really shocked. And this one's adults, so sure, let them do their gay shit. but like the babies, like what's the point of this baby?
I think it's like a tale as old as time is like sacrificing children to the devil and to demons. I think that's just what it is now. Like they used to do it back in the day by killing the firstborn or whatever. Or abortion is that too. So it's like there's always going to be levels. So it's like if you're pregnant and you have a baby in your stomach, you can sacrifice that baby to the devil and get an abortion. Or if the baby comes out and it's 2 months old, you could sacrifice that baby to whatever, these freaks. Or if the baby's 5 and you want to make it trans, make it a girl, boy to a girl, you can sacrifice your baby at that age. There's just always different opportunities to sacrifice the babies. And I think this is just what sacrificing a newborn looks like.
Wow.
if I had to guess. That makes sense, right?
I think it's just stupid women, and they might not know they're sacrificing their child to the spiritual realm. But like, it's just stupid women who think, I don't know.
Stupid women with weak husbands who don't tell anyone what to do.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much. All right, next, the girl whose gender changes by the month.
Yep, let's see this one.
In January, February, March, April, May.
So it goes from he, they, she, they, he, they, she. A good run of they, she. And then it gets demented. They, z worked for a little bit. They is the consistent one there.
Yeah. But if you can't keep track of your own pronouns, how am I supposed to, brother?
That's so true.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good boomer meme from Rat Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically, hey, if you're that person, you're a lonely, weird girl who's going through it.
Yeah, and she hasn't destroyed her body yet. She hasn't let these pronouns destroy herself. She can still pull out of this and be like, I'm a normal girl again.
Pull up, terrain, pull up.
But she won't. Whoop, whoop.
Terrain.
But she won't. I think she's probably going down a worse path. But it's nice to see the people who don't yet mutilate themselves and they're just playing mind games, right?
Yeah. You're just in the room too much. You're a little lonely. You're a little weird.
Yeah,
going through
you
it.
look in the mirror a little too much, I think.
Yeah.
I don't get it, really.
All right. Last piece of cringe of the week. This is an old Joe Biden clip. Not that old. It's from
December 2022.
A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, where Joe Biden told this story about his uncle who got a Purple Heart. Check this out. We're going to debunk it. It's great.
When I got elected vice president, he said, Joey, Uncle Frank fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He was not feeling very well now, not because of the Battle of the Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart, and he never received it. He never got it. Do you think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him. So I got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of the Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, present it to him. Okay, we had the family there. I said, Uncle Frank, you won this, and I went to he said, I don't want the damn thing. No, I'm serious. He said, I don't want it. I said, what's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it. He said, yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived.
So that story, his uncle was in the Battle of the Bulge, and then when he got elected vice president, he got the award for the Purple Heart, and he got it for him. And that sounds like a nice story.
It sounds like a great story. Like, that's a nice family. Like, you never got it. Your son's in a position.
Yep, we'll do it for you.
Or your nephew.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make sense because Joe Biden became vice president in 2008, right?
Yeah.
His dad, who told the story of Joey, we need the Purple Heart for your uncle. His dad died in 2002.
6 years before Joe was vice president.
6 years before Joe's vice president. And you might be thinking, oh, maybe he's misremembering or whatever. His uncle died in 1999, like
Both
10 years before he became vice president.
Both people were so far dead.
Completely made up. And it's like, was your uncle even at the Bulge?
No, I think his uncle was like running ammunition 30 miles back behind the Bulge, if he was even there.
Now that we get the lies, we can reverse it and be like, his uncle wasn't even old enough to go to the war.
Yeah. And this is Joe Biden while he's president saying just a made up story. Like, what are we doing? You don't think people are going to be like, let me just look into this lightly. You're firing from the hip, just lies, made up shit.
Your uncle died in 99, your dad died in 2002, and you're saying when I was a vice president in 2008, this is when this all went down? That's like not even hard to look up.
There's an additional piece. Biden said his Uncle Frank signed up for the Army a day after Pearl Harbor was attacked. He was like, let's go get him. But he volunteered like 3 months earlier. So it's just like every piece is a lie. You can't trust any story that this guy says. He's Polish. He's black, right?
He got a full scholarship,
Corn
top of his
pop,
class at law school, all made up.
So it's kind of crazy how he's just really firing from the hip. It's made up, no consequences. These people who wrote this kind of fact check article, we asked the White House if this incident happened, and if so, when? And just like nobody answers. They're just like, it'll die down.
I love it.
So the current president is openly lying and just making shit up.
I respect that.
It's crazy. And he gets away with it.
He's making his life like a movie.
Yeah.
And then I shot him dead right there. And bullet went right past the hostage. Everyone cheered.
I said, are you feeling lucky, punk? Like just stealing movie lines. It's like taking pieces of other family stories.
Let her go.
Yeah.
All right, next we're into Urban Decay. That was a great section. Urban Decay section's coming up. This week's Urban Decay is brought to you by Bonus Land. Guys, if you love this show and want an extra 30-minute episode that comes out on Monday, please join Bonus Land. Over 2,000 people have joined. It's very cheap. It's like $4 a month, $1 a week. It's basically free. We have a lot of good Bonus Land stuff to get to. Links are in the description, patreon.com/Fleckus or YouTube join. Join the Fleckus family in Bonus Land. And if you don't, what happens?
You die.
Yeah.
You die in real life.
If you don't join us in Bonus Land, you die in real life. Okay, Urban Decay. First clip. Street Rat goes for a Tarzan jump.
For some Tarzaners.
Oh my gosh.
Shit. Maybe
Never
not.
had a chance.
You good? Are you a Tarzan?
Wow. I respect the attempt. Never had a chance. Maybe not a street rat, like a person who's a street rat, but at least a person on drugs, I think is what that is.
I don't know. It seemed like she was relatively fit and just made a horrible miscalculation. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And if you're audio only listening, that was basically a 30-something-year-old woman, just an average woman, going for a vine-to-vine Tarzan.
Tree-to-tree jump.
Tree-to-tree jump that she never had a chance at getting. And straight down 20-foot fall.
Yeah.
But I'm hopefully the meth helped her get back up right away. Okay. All right, next.
That same thing happened to Joe Biden's grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Joe Biden's grandpa.
In 1922.
But he landed it.
But he was born in 1925.
And he landed it fine.
Yep.
And then that's how they got across.
Yep. Medal of Honor for that.
Yep. Next, the baby with the gun.
Yeah.
What you got right there, boy?
Put in your pamper, boo.
Oh. What's your take on that?
Just I don't know, just a future model UN honor roll student, perhaps a doctor in our midst right now.
I'm in the same page. I see this positively. Obviously, it's a two-way friendly family. The kid likes music. Just think having kids is going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the kind of kid who, he won't go to juvie. He definitely won't go to prison. He definitely won't commit gun crimes later.
There's not crimes going on in his house right now.
Yeah, he has good role models, and that's a two-parent household. So brilliant. This should be an uplifting gold.
Uplifting gold. It's a two-way friendly family.
Yep.
All right, next, teacher beats up student. This
Yeah.
is pretty sick.
This is kind of crazy.
The teacher takes off his sweatshirt and bag. And now it's a fight with like a 14-year-old. And that's a teacher, so it's not a real teacher.
Teacher is punching him on the ground when he's defenseless.
And people are trying to break it up, and he's fighting them too. He's completely lost control.
Finally, another teacher comes up and goes, "Yo, what are you doing? You're a teacher." And it breaks up.
Yeah. So maybe the kid said something really bad.
Maybe the word started with N that he said.
There's a word between the letters M and O.
My initial take is this kid, based on looks, this Edgar type, he probably really deserved it. But this teacher is out of his fucking mind. He disrobed to get ready for a street fight with a 14-year-old at the school he works at.
Yeah, you're fired. You're never going to teach again. You're done.
You're charged.
You lost it.
That's a felony.
For what? Because Edgar said something?
Yeah. It's so crazy world we're living in. Like when teachers fight back, it's kind of becoming a theme, and some are justified and some are just crazy.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't think, has any control over himself or his emotions if he's squaring up with like a 15-year-old.
And that's who's teaching. He got hired as a teacher.
That school looks like shit. If my kid went there, I would move to middle of nowhere, Montana. I'd rather my kid go to a school of 60 kids, a high school of 60 kids, than a school with that many weird fighting. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. All right, next, let's move on to, remember that story of that girl who got blacked out and said the N-word a bunch and then was pushing people and whatever?
Yes, at the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, so where's the update from her?
So a racist University of Kentucky student, 22, is indicted on 6 charges after calling black schoolmate a N 200 times before drunkenly assaulting cop. Faces 13 years in jail.
13 years in jail. Basically, that girl, and we covered this in the show when it happened.
Yeah.
That girl was blacked out and probably on like Adderall or something, or like didn't eat all day.
Autopilot.
Adderall, blacked out, and it's just like blacked out in a dream. We've probably all seen people that get into that zone. And like, what did she do? She said the N-word a bunch, not great.
Not illegal.
Not
That's
illegal
a student
either.
issue, student handbook issue,
Yeah, you might get thrown out of school for that, but not illegal. And then assaulting a police officer, and she's getting 13 years potentially in jail. Assaulting a cop, it's like she was
punching in a dream. Like it was like,
N.
Yeah.
You're N. Like, and just like going like this and like, did you really assault anyone?
Did you do
anyone
any
get hurt?
damage? Yeah.
What happened? Who got hurt? Nobody.
So, of course.
She's getting potentially 13 years. But
Yeah.
there's another story.
Well, she's going to plead down, obviously.
Yeah, that'll
right?
plead
Like,
down, and hopefully she gets she should just be cleaning up trash on the road one day.
Like for 5 days, trash on the side of the road in an orange vest, like
20 hours of community service.
Probably kicked out of the school, N-word 200 times. You don't really get away with that at a university, right?
Not
these
anymore,
days.
yeah. So that'll
Not
do it.
anymore.
That'll do it. But
and hold on, because I want to get to this first. I was looking at the charges, and I was like trying to find well, she said the N-word 200 times. Where are the charges? Where are the charges? Where's the N-word charge? Oh, it doesn't exist. You can say the N-word. Like, it doesn't exist. So I was laughing at that.
Yeah. So she's going to potentially jail for 13 years for that. And just being blacked out. And then there's another story, similar but different, because the similar in the amount of time for prison sentencing.
So that was white on black,
Mhm.
right? And a bad word got said a bunch of times, and maybe some light scratches or a little bit of knuckles thrown, maybe.
Get off me.
Yeah, get off me. I need to go home.
Go back to my room. And then what's this next headline?
So next headline, the black on white alternative. Devastated parents of murdered Barnard College student Tessa Majors watch her killer get minimum 14-year sentence for knifing her to death as he tried to steal her iPhone in NYC Park.
So a black guy and a white girl, he stabs her to death with a knife.
This was actually a group of 3 black kids who were all underage, I think, or maybe one was charged as an adult, but they were all underage. They wanted her iPhone, and they knifed her to death, left her to die.
Stabbed her and knifed her to death, left her to die, and they're getting about the same amount of prison time.
The 14-year minimum sentence after killing a college student.
Yeah. So a nice girl got robbed, stabbed to death. Another girl was just blacked out and saying the N-word and kind of pushing people, and they're getting the same amount of prison time. Does that make sense?
Doesn't make sense at all. We are living in clown world.
It feels like the institutions are failing us. There's another headline of a woman who tried to break into a cockpit of an airplane, and then the plane had an emergency land.
Yeah, criminal charges dropped against disruptive American Airlines passenger accused of trying to breach cockpit, causing plane to make an emergency landing. So the plane got diverted, landed.
She's no criminal charges,
No
prison
consequences.
time. No prison time for her.
She was going through something.
Yeah.
Like, what's the judge? Your Honor, my client is simply built different. It's like charges dismissed.
Your Honor, it was her birthday.
Do you know any details about this beyond the headline?
No.
But
It was her birthday, Your Honor.
Miscarriage of justice, man. Miscarriage of justice, right?
Speaking of institutions that are falling by the wayside, Stanford University, one of the best colleges in the world, they say. 22 incoming class, 22% white.
And less than half of that is white men. So obviously women go to college more now. That just happened. That flipped too. So less than 22% white. I can't imagine how, and I've been seeing this more and more, is like people with knowingly great GPAs, good extracurriculars, whatever, they get denied from a college that a stupid low GPA minority gets into.
All
so
the time.
They're openly discriminating against white people trying to go to college. And these are the effects. And I think we're going to see the effects for a long time after this.
This is just starting to like ripple to the surface. It's been in the works for years. Now we're seeing it like every day. And that basically means it's too late.
Yep.
There was an award ceremony. It was like the SAG Awards or the Emmys or something.
Yep.
And listen to this interview this lady did.
Not least, who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am. Betting on black tonight.
5 years ago here at the Emmys, you told us that you were rooting for everybody black. Tonight, Issa Rae, who are you rooting for?
Everybody black. Nothing has changed. It will never change.
Okay. Guess who I'm rooting for? That's it.
The second interview is a man in a dress acting why if she's still only rooting for black people. What the fuck happened, guys? What the fuck happened, man? Yeah, and
it's just open, and then that's the correct stance. But if you said, "Oh, I'm only rooting for white people," it's like, what?
Yeah,
white people are the worst. They don't even go to Stanford anymore.
Yeah, they can't get in.
Yeah.
So we live in a fucked up place, and I don't know. I don't know. Scott Adams? What about Scott Adams?
Scott Adams, yeah, he's going through it.
He's going through it, but I think he doesn't care anymore. He was literally doing like kind of a pseudoscientific breakdown of this poll that a high percentage of black Americans said it's not okay to be white, or they're unsure if it's okay to be white.
Over half, yeah.
Yeah, so
he goes, if you're over half, then that's just a hate group. So
Yeah.
if that's a hate group, then I would tell people who are white to avoid the hate group, which is the blacks.
Yeah.
That's like how he basically said it in his thing, and now everyone's freaking out on him. But
So he's canceled apparently, but he's rich enough and old enough to not care, so he's telling the truth. That is a hate group. That's crazy. What are you talking about? It's not okay to be white. It really is. And if you don't think so, then you're just a wrong, like warped worldview person, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You're a victim to it.
Yeah.
You got the parasite in your brain.
And then the media has been obviously ramping this up. I don't think that there would be even close to that amount of people responding in that poll that it's not okay to be white if the media hadn't turned the volume up to 11 for the past 4.5 years, basically. Ever since what? Trayvon Martin?
Yeah.
Ferguson?
Mike Brown.
Mike
yeah.
Brown and Ferguson?
Obama.
Yeah, Obama.
Obama,
The divider-in-chief.
Obama.
So yeah, it's crazy, man. And then you have old school people like, there's that video that goes viral every once in a while of like Morgan Freeman being like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about race. And then it'll just go. And it's like everybody else is race obsessed and we're reacting to it.
Yeah.
This kind of didn't exist 5 years ago. Nobody was this mad.
But they're making us participate. So they're, all right, who am I going to cheer for? Oh, I'm cheering for everyone black. Okay, and then where does that put me? I like to see white excellence. I'm proud of white excellence, as we should be, right? You're proud of black excellence, and you see it where you see it. I'm proud of white excellence, and I see it everywhere.
Yeah, don't let ChatGPT hear you saying that. They'll tell you that's incorrect, and you can't do that. But obviously, anyone with a brain knows the reciprocal is also true, right? Like you can't have one without the other. So this is the gaslighting that's happening. And the white liberals still kind of go with it. It's kind of crazy.
100p. And
they'll be knocking on your door being like, hey, your house is ours now. And they'll be like, okay, I do understand. It's like crazy how weak we've become, white people.
Exactly. And in the beginning, they were trying to convince this is like years ago, they tried to convince everyone that everyone's so racist, which just wasn't true. And then they keep saying everyone's racist, while they were getting more racist themselves. And now it's to the point where it's like we've become the monsters that they said we were. We're like, I don't care about race. I don't care at all. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. And now they're so race obsessed where it's like, you know what? I do love white people.
Yeah.
Like I am now becoming what they said that was the problem.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I mean,
it just happens.
It's like we're going to keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. And then you can never push us back. And then eventually you're going to be backed up to the wall and we're going to push you into that too. And it's like,
and the whole time they're pushing you going, you're a pusher, you're a pusher, you're a pusher. And I'm just getting pushed. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. You're a pusher, you're a pusher. And it's like, all right, you want to see pusher? Pusher.
Yeah.
And I launch.
Yeah.
I launch.
Yeah. So, I mean, people with, standard worldviews and logic, they don't fall into this stuff. Weak-willed people with low logic, they do. They go, yeah, it's our time to listen, and shit like that. And it's like, no, your opinion matters as much as anyone's. Yeah. So this racialization, and this ramping up, Also, I think Asians have a bad deal right now. Yeah. They're getting smoked on college admissions.
They're getting smoked bad.
They're discriminated against worse than whites. And, remember Stop Asian Hate? Yeah, we could have helped you, but you kind of made it into a white supremacy thing.
They were too quiet. The Asians are too quiet about it.
There are a lot of
complaints. Like we try to bring it to light, and then they go, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." We become doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're either a Muppet, you either got your hand up the Muppet, or you're watching the show. And we're watching the show, but now it's an interactive show where they're interacting with the audience.
Yeah.
And the Muppet's trying to tell me that I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just paying to see the show, but now I'm actually involved.
And that's a part of the reason this podcast exists, right? We show urban decay. We talk about things you're not supposed to, like, the black criminal who's acting sketchy, slowly walking up behind you. It's not time to relax.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't want to be racist. Everything's fine.
I don't want to be racist. Ding! Like, you slip. You're asleep on the floor.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just, vibes. Let's lead with vibes.
Let's see what this white woman, what happened to her?
Oh, yeah, this is from a week ago.
Last week, she's taking a jacket. Who's this after her? Oh, it's 6'6" black man, 280 pounds, 260.
And that other person
Stomp
just
her,
turns
stomp,
around.
beat her while she's down. Beat her while she's down.
Look at this
break her
guy
back.
walking slowly up to it. Like, hey, what's going on here?
Isn't he in a Marine outfit?
It's like, shouldn't you be kicking someone in the face, knocking them out immediately when you see this? He walks over. Is everything okay? The lady is like getting unconsciously beat up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just field goal kick someone in the head and just like take that free shot that you never get and just ding them?
So the good news is this was in Florida. That 6'6" problem in society. He is being charged as an adult and he's being held on $1 million bail right now. So good to see some states still have that dog in them to take care of societal problems.
Thank you, Florida. All right, that's a lot of urban decay. We got to move on to uplifting gold before people get too depressed.
Yeah.
Uplifting gold, first clip. We have to move fast because we're going long on time today. This is going to be an hour 20 epi.
Sheesh.
Ants don't quit. This is pretty cool. The ants are going to this beehive, and look at this bridge they built. And that's cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
It goes all the way.
Ants are like, don't make me go get my goons.
And the ants got goons.
Yeah.
You can just vacuum those all up.
Yeah.
And just be done with those ants. But here's where I don't understand. You see the wide shot of the ants doing the bridge to the thing?
Mm-hmm. It's a full U.
It's a full U. Why don't they just walk straight across? Just go straight from where they are at start and just go straight to the beehive. Why do they have to do the bridge?
I don't know. Must be some sort of tensile strength. I'm not doubting ants. I think they're doing the best they can with that given scenario. So
yeah. All right. Next, McDonald's ship blowout.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
This is disgusting.
We need to talk about.
Hello? Sorry, we're very short employed. I don't feel good.
Oh, man. Are you going to prepare my food now? Are you going to make a burger?
So I think this is as fake as it gets. This is two kids doing a bit, like they know the worker and she's squeezing something. This didn't. This passed your smell test? You thought this was real? The McDonald's worker was on her headphones blowing the most excruciating dump you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah.
And then not only that, you believed it, but then you decided to put it in uplifting gold?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be an urban decay?
No. All right. Well, I thought it was real. Maybe it's fake. Sometimes it's fake.
Yeah.
But hey, remember Dylan Mulvaney? Dylan Mulvaney in the beginning, everyone said was fake. Oh, it's just a comedian influencer guy doing a bit. Now.
Then he got the surgery.
Yeah, now he's vice president. All right, kid wants $8,000.
Yep.
Me?
What you want?
I want $8,000.
He goes, what do you want? He says, I want $8,000. I like that kid. Kid knows what he wants.
Yeah, it's a good, nice round number below 10K. That kid's kind of like you. You want $9,000 for the bus.
Me and that kid have the similar goals. I don't know if he's going to buy a bus, though.
Yeah.
All right, next. Kid takes a bite of what he made first. This is funny. This is good parenting.
What'd you make?
Some sushi,
What all's in it?
marshmallows, water, and salt, and bread,
Sushi.
and bananas. That would be so good.
Yeah. All right, you take the first bite.
Um,
So the trick is you make the kid take the first bite.
Yeah.
You get the first bite and he eats it. It's like, yeah, I guess that kind of sucked. All right, good. Next, Dwayne Wade got an award for having a trans kid. This is just a photo.
Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya, granted legal name and gender change by judge. Zaya's going to be 6'6".
Yeah. Well, the uplifting part of this, you're probably wondering why is this an uplifting gold? It's because the wife is starting to look like a man, so it's balancing out.
Looking kind of like a Lori Lightfoot type.
Yeah, she's like looking like a Lori Lightfoot, looking like got some manly, so that it's balancing out. The son becomes the daughter, and then the wife becomes another husband. Dwayne Wade's a gay guy.
Yeah, poor Dwayne Wade.
Yep. All right, next. Husband sleeps with his eyes open. We're going to rapid fire these last 3.
This is proof that my husband actually sleeps with his eyes open. It freaks me the fuck out every time I look.
That's so scary.
Watch him snap out of it.
Doesn't your eyes dry out?
Yeah, isn't that like excruciating?
I would hate that. What you don't even see anything? Your eyes just turn off?
I don't know. I would divorce over something like that.
All right, next. Kid says cut Chris.
This is dark.
Come by, baby punk.
Chris called your brother a punk?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Get the knife. Cut Chris.
Chris called your brother a punk. What do we do? Take a knife and cut Chris.
Jeez.
That's pretty funny. That's uplifting. It's funny.
All right.
No? No help?
No, I mean, I hope it's uplifting joke, but that girl is pretty early to be cutting someone with a knife.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm a little worried.
Yeah. Not as bad as the kid with the gun in his pants.
Yeah. That's a whole
Similar.
that's a league of its own, but
All right, last thing. We're going to end it on this. We'll play it in the background. Kid working on the excavator. This is good uplifting stuff. There he goes. Excavator's going. That looks fun.
That is fun.
Those machines
That's
just go
pretty
too.
good, Richard. That's pretty good, buddy.
Richard. The kid's name is Richard?
That's you. Hey, that's pretty good. Well, that's the end of the episode. We went a little long today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckusMerch.com for the best merch in the game. Undertack.com for the best underwear in the game. And Patreon.com/Fleckus for the best bonus land in the game. If you guys like the episode, you're this far, you've probably been thinking about joining Bonus Land. Now is the time. Join Bonus Land. Links are in the description. It's very cheap. You get an extra episode every Monday. Everyone says, oh, Fleckus, go 2 times a week. We already do. The second episode comes out on Monday. You guys should be there for it. Links are in the description. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Great episode, buddy.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.